Schools nationwide have embraced the government's pillar policy, the tuition fee-free or free education. Although others with mixed feelings, the policy has worked out well in many rural and urban schools. It was purposely implemented at the elementary, primary and secondary school levels, a direct intervention and decisively decision by the O'Neill Dion government since taking office in 2012. The implementation of this policy was perceived as a device for fulfilling the national government's Universal Basic Education Plan that aims to provide formal education for children.
Free education now I'm 5 years old. 5 years old, but beginning not strong yet. Education system is not strong yet. You must continue for next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Kai free education, but you looking for family blow you.
Since the introduction of TFF, direct funding have been released to the registered schools under the Department of Education. The government has spent at least 2 billion kina in these 5 years on education. Funds have been released straight into the schools' bank accounts upon accurate documents provided by schools to the department. An estimated 10,000 schools nationwide have received these direct funds.
Why not be starting free education? Me not starting free education because me like apim name lo government lo imita so no gan. Lo okata iya bisa looking mo papa mama na mama blo me too. So ran lo kata blo iya lo paim school fee blo me lo go to school. School fee blo mama lo go to school. School fee blo pigrini lo go to school. School right blo pigrini. Although this world today education me one blo tool blo making sure or some life blo one blo you may make them up strong.
While it has allowed for students to have access to basic education, it has also brought about challenges. The increase in student enrollments in respective schools, lack of teachers, teaching and learning materials, and most of all the facilities to cater for the increased number of students. But the government, while putting direct funding to schools, has also allocated component of it through the district and provincial services improvement program funds under the custodian of the members of parliament to support education in their respective districts and provinces. Some members of parliament have used the component of this fund to support schools in their districts with school projects. But TFF has been the biggest challenge to the government, especially during this time the government revenue is low due to global commodity prices that affected the country's exports. Despite faced with tough economic times, government's budget to education has not been cut, but release of funds to schools on time have been the biggest issue debated by school heads and politicians. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, who has been supportive of this policy, believes he has done the right thing to utilize well funds for human development. While it is seen to have impact on the lives of the people, others think differently. They think TFF has brought about many issues that the government has not adequately addressed. Top among these, the imposition of school project fees by respective schools due to delay in the release of TFF funds. Among these is the Swan Primary School in Aitape, West Sepik Province, which claims that the school has not received TFF. Another issue was the quality of education and lack of teachers, an issue highlighted by the University of Goroka Vice Chancellor, Professor Musabe Sinebare.
You may now know is that because of the TFF, there's so many overcrowding in the classrooms. One teacher is teaching 60 students. In a 60-minute lesson, one teacher teaching 60 students, the interaction rate is 1 minute per child. Now you think about it. 1 minute per child is given in 1 hour lesson to a 60 students. You are not getting much of the teacher interaction with the students. So the quality is already lost.
While it is seen to have negative and positive impacts, other politicians have different views. But successive governments who have talked about TFF have failed to fully implement, and it has become the pillar policy of the People's National Congress Party in these 5 years.
Now plan the old now opposition line on like Prime Minister Totoklan. Tomorrow talk all about cancelling free education. But you money run the ban school fee. No can lose things in them. Also, si mo Islam money na put him waganin, also steal him all the time. And all same line that's all.
The PNC, under the leadership of Peter O'Neill, is also reviewing the policy as it plans to develop education fund when it returns.
Now, you must try to work all finish in grade 12, na go to university. Lo side lo party blo you mean? Me play working one plan now, lo put him money go inside where you mix him lo gold, copper, gas, and oil, lo one bla fund, and by manage him all sit down blo school picnic. Sit down blo school picnic. Where papa mama can sim some like 1 can all this lab, na buy him school fee blo you mean all picnic. Because school fee work lo go on top yet. 3, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, all picnic go to university, na technical colleges, all nation colleges work go buy him this kind of money. So education is one play important something and me PNC one time particularly me plan.
Peter O'Neill says education, health, law and order, and infrastructure will continue to be their pillar policies.